telling them, pay 10% of your income. And then mimi napata 1.2 million. Hawa wadosi wameketi hapa wanapata 1,100,000, 700,000, 800,000. Sisi ambao ni wadosi hapa, sitaki kusema yenu. Sindio? Sisi tulikuwa tunalipa 1,700. If you do a percentage of 1.2 million, 1,700, it is 0.01%. Sasa, good people, you are intellectuals. The poor are paying 10%. The rich are paying 0.00. Is there any fairness? Is there any logic? Tunaelewana? So what did we decide? We said, let's have equity. Let us be fair. Let us have a standard figure. Let everybody pay 2.75%. Mama mboga na wale wengine wateremuke from 10% wakuje 2.75%. Na sisi tutoke huko 0.0 sijui ngapi tukuje 2.75%. Tunaelewana? Now from 1,700 I used to pay, now I pay 40,000 every month. Mama mboga yake imeteremuka from 500, kuna wenye tutawalipia na kuna wenye watakuja 300. Now the base is 300. We're trying to create an element of fairness. Na hiyo ndio makelele mimi napigiwa kwa hii town. It's because, we're just trying to be fair, good people. Why is anybody against fairness? So what has happened? We are raising more money. We used to raise 2.6 billion. Now we are raising 7 billion shillings every month to deal with health. And now we have put money in the budget. We've said citizens, and I want to tell you, and I'm going to discuss with you your own medical scheme later, because these people are going to ask me. Tunaelewana? Yes, and I'm going to tell you what we are going to do on your medical bill. Because today, access for teachers is 7%. Access for civil servants is 14%. So there is something wrong with the medical cover. And I know these good people, these representatives of yours, they have already captured it. And I am going to tell you how we are going to solve it. Tunaelewana marafiki zangu? So, I can now confidently tell you that SHA is working. We are going to make it work better. You can now hear testimonies of citizens who are telling you SHA paid for me 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, and all that. Something that we used not to hear before. And it is just 1 year. In fact, tutafikisha 1 year, tutafikisha 1 year October. What we are also going to do, we are going to get rid of crooks. Wale wakora matapeli wanaibia sisi pesa ya wagonjwa. Just imagine, good people, I must tell you this. Just imagine there was a hospital here in Kino, naitwa St. Catherine, hapo. Ati walikuwa wanafanya operations more than Kenyatta Hospital. Pale Kino. So we became interested. Must be a very big hospital, doing all this. Kufika pale Kino, iko kwa kona. Second floor kwa kona. Watu wamejazana hapo ndani. There is no upasuaji going on. Ni kujaza makaratasi tu ya fake claims. Na wanajaza hata bila akili. Yani wana mtu mmoja wana file claim amekuwa amputated. Next week amekuwa amputated. The next week amekuwa amputated. Sasa unakuta mtu mmoja amekatwa miguu 10 times. Unashangaa, kwani huyu mtu alikuwa na miguu ngapi? Ni mnanielewa? You know, open theft. Kulikuwa na mwingine huko Eldoret, ako na hospitali kubwa hapo, lakini kwa hiyo hospitali there are more accountants than doctors. Sasa unajiuliza, accountants wanafanya nini kwa hospitali? I thought we needed more people, more nurses, you know, clinical officers. Fake claims. That is why when we were closing NHIF, there were debts of 32 billion. 32 billion madeni ya ukora. So tukawaambia, okay, we are ready to pay these debts. Leteni makaratasi tufanye verification. Waziri akagazette verification committee so that we can pay you your claims. Wakaenda kotini kusimamisha verification. What does that tell you? The claims are fake. Because if you genuinely have a claim, why don't you want it verified? Useme, I tweeted so and so, these are the numbers. Ndio huyo mtu nilitweet, ndio huyo nilifanya, ndio huyo nilifanya. So, what we have done now, admission is on a digital platform. Discharge is on a digital platform. We are now moving to biometrics. An ID is not going to be enough. Fika hospitali, weka kidole, tunajua huyu ni mtu fulani, endelea. Kwa sababu wengine hata wanachukua ID ya mtu amekufa anakuja kufanyia ukora. Tunaelewana jameni? Running Kenya is a difficult job, my friend. Unajua saa zingine watu wako na akili ni very difficult Quran, kwa sababu wanapanga akili kitu mzuri na pia wanapangia akili mambo mengine ya kombo. Tunaelewana? So all I want to tell you is that we will deal with fraud, we will deal with fake claims. You saw an incident in Mumias juzi. Simuliona kwa magazeti sijui. Bishop moja amesimama hapo amesema hii watu ni bure kabisa. Hii sha kuna kitu. Karibu tunafunga hospitali. We cannot pay our workers. Sha wamelipa sisi only 9 million. Na tumeweka claims juu ya karibu 100 million. Nikaona sasa askofu ako na kola. Nikasema this must be serious. Nikapigia waziri. Niambia waziri, umesikia maneno ya huyu askofu? Amesema Musalia amesema uongo, hakuna tujapatiwa pesa. Nikamwambia mniletee data. Aletewa data. Ndio hii cash transfer, electronic transfer ya pesa, bank ndio hii, nini ndio hii. Nikamwambia waziri, please enda kwa hiyo hospitali Mumias. Tunataka kusaidia askofu. Pengine askofu wako na ukweli. Kufika Mumias, askofu amepatiwa, bwana askofu, ndio hii makaratasi. Siku fulani ulilipwa pesa fulani, mpaka tukaita bank manager wao. Bank manager ana confirm tulipata hii pesa. Ya hiyo hospitali inaitwa sijui St. Mary's. Tulipata 98 million. Ni mnanielewa? Askofu ndio huyo, oh I'm sorry, I was misled. Really? You know? Ni mnanielewa? Wenye kumwambia askofu hiyo story yote ni watu yake kwa hospitali wameiba from his own hospital. Ni mnanielewa marafiki zangu? So we are going to deal with fraud. Mutasikia makelele, but it is because we have, if we don't deal with fraud, we will not succeed in anything. So I just want to confirm to you, we are going to make sure that that health sector works. Lastly, because I just needed to give you a small brief of the assignment you gave me as the President of Kenya. Lastly, it matters to create jobs for our young people. And you know, jobs don't happen. They are as a result of deliberate, intentional policy decisions. That's how you create jobs. That's how jobs are created everywhere in the world. So we have 4 pathways that we intentionally decided we are going to pursue for us to get young people. As we invest in education, we must also find pathways for them to be meaningfully engaged. So number 1 is our housing program. Many people ask me, wewe, nani alikuambia tunahitaji manyumba? Si kila mtu uko kwake. Simulisikia hiyo story. Who told you? But let me ask you, good people. Sindio? If you look at the manifestos of all parties, for the last 30 years, housing was a permanent fixture. Housing, my friend, former Prime Minister, alianza the first slum upgrading during the Clan Coalition government hapa. Indio? Because housing was part of the plan then. Jubilee Manifesto, for those of you who are in Jubilee, among the big 4, one of them was housing. In this last election, hii election imepita, manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza ilikuwa na housing. Manifesto ya Azimio ilikuwa na housing. Complete with 1.5% levy. Ilikuwa kwa, go and read the manifesto ya Azimio. Sasa, sisi wote tunakubaliana, this is something what we must do. And we must do housing for 4 reasons. Number 1, we have 7 million people living in slums. Urbanization is a reality we must live with. The future is urban. Whether you like it or not, by 2050, half our population, half the world's population, including that of Kenya, will be living in cities. So either they come to live in cities, in slums, or we begin to make sure that there is decent housing. So, na hii housing tulikuwa naye tangu zamani. So when it came to Jubilee, mimi na Uhuru Kenyatta, my boss, tukasema we must implement this thing. Tukapitisha sheria, tukapanga ile mambo yote. Kwanza, my friend Uhuru akaniambia, I have a very good person, a very good professional, ako South Africa, anaitwa Charles Hinga. Tuende tumtafute. Tukaenda tukamtafuta huyu Hinga, tukamlete. Tukamfanya PS housing. Tukasukuma gurudumu, tukaenda bunge. Kila kitu iko tayari. Levy ikaanza, kelele ikaanza. Sasa kelele. Sasa one morning Uhuru akanipigia simu, William, kuja. Yes, Bwana President. Akaniambia, wewe, siwe uko na nyumba? Bwana President, mimi niko na nyumba. Sasa hii kelele yote hii tunapigiwa, hii ni ya nini? Kama watu hawataki mambo ya housing wakwende, wacha hii kitu ipotee. Housing ikazamia hapo. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Shida, last election, manifesto ya Jubilee ya Kenya Kwanza, housing. Manifesto ya Azimio, housing. Si ndio? Si mimi nimekakuja nikasema, wacha ni hii kitu imetusumbua muda mrefu. Let me be the one to bail the cat. Si ndio? Housing ndio hiyo, tumepitisha, wabunge wamenisaidia wamepitisha, kila kitu iko tayari, levy ndio hiyo. Kelele. Zakayo, kotini, sijui wapi, maandamano. Lakini mimi nikasema, acha watu wanifanyie maandamano. What is the problem? We must do this thing. Kama namna gani, my friends? Si ndio? Because transformation is not easy. Transformation is not a walk in the park. Transformation is not necessarily popular. Ama tunakubaliana namna gani? So, Nimekaa ngumu. Ndio hiyo housing take place. Kotini tumepelekwa, tunajaribu kukatakata kuona mko na makotini. Makesi mingi. Leo friends, we are building 170,000 houses in Kenya. 400 markets are being built. 172,000 units of hostels in our universities, TVETs, and Kenya medical training centers are underway in Kenya. 320,000 young people are working. By end of this year, we will have 600,000 people working. By end of next year, we will have 1 million people working. Architects, quantity surveyors, engineers, plumbers, technicians, artisans, electricians, masons, what name them. The whole industry around cement production is up almost double. Steel production is up almost double. Transportation and everybody in between. Our economy today is recording strides because of affordable housing. Today they are feasible. I challenge you, those of you who live in Nairobi, go to Mukuru, go and see. Go to Kakamega. There is no town in Kenya today that affordable housing is not the largest estate. From Mandera, Kitui, Machakos, Nairobi, Kiambu, Embu, Nyeri, all the way. I was in Kisumu, I was in Homa Bay, go to Migori, go to, my friends. And what you are seeing today is just work of 1.5 years. Explain to me, in 10 years, in 20 years, I promise you, you will not recognize Kenya. Yes. That is what is called transformation. Sasa nyinyi, kama ningepigiwa kelele, nifanyiwe maandamano, niwachane na hii program ya housing, how are we going to transform this nation? Explain to me. How are we going to change this nation? Tuendelee tu na ile mambo ya zamani? Niendelee tu kupigiwa makofi so that watu wafurahi? What is that? Mnanielewa? And I am talking to you this way because you are intellectuals, you understand what I am saying. You can see what I'm saying. Today, we are going to sign here an MOU so that teachers can get 20% of all the housing we are constructing in Kenya. Yes. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Tuko pamoja? Walimu. So, listen. That is how we change a nation. That is how you change a nation. Number 2, we are working on making sure that apart from creating jobs in this space, and my target is that we will create 1 million jobs in this space, we must create another 1 million jobs on our digital platform. Digital jobs is another avenue. We are currently rolling out fiber optic infrastructure in Kenya. We have done 24,000 kilometers. We want to get it to 100,000 kilometers. We want every ward. Unanisikia? If you go to Tatu City, Kenda Tatu City, I was there last year. Na nilienda kufungua one building that has 5,000 young Kenyans working for American companies from Ruiru here. They are working for American companies, digital jobs from Ruiru here. We are rolling out fiber optic because we want an ICT hub in every ward in the Republic of Kenya. And I will tell you, that is what it is. We want to roll out. We can also create 1 million jobs already from places like Tatu City and all the ICT hubs and the Jitume hubs. We have already 180,000 young people monetizing their talent, earning money in the digital space. We want to create 1 million of those young people in the digital space. Number 3, because of teachers and because of our teaching, we have the best human capital anywhere in the world. Foreign companies, if you give them a choice between hiring a Kenyan and hiring any other person, they will want to hire a Kenyan. Why? We speak good English. Kenyans require very little supervision. You know? This is information foreign companies are telling us. We have the right work ethic. Wakenya ni watu wa kujituma. And that is why I am proud to be a president of Kenya. You know? Najua watu wa Kenya ni wa kujituma. Kazi yako ni kuzuia tu wasipitishe ukiwaambia barabara ni hii. Utaenda mbele tu kuambia hapana piga kona. You see? So, what is happening? So, many people began to take advantage because many companies are looking for Kenyan workforce globally. So, we had these recruiting agencies. They realized that there is an opportunity. They began to take advantage. Unakuta mtu amechukuliwa pesa yake, unaenda Saudi Arabia, unakuta ile kazi uliambiwa sio hiyo. Unaenda mahali ingine, unaenda unadhulumiwa. Unaenda mahali ingine, unaenda unaumizwa. Ile pesa uliambiwa utalipwa, unakuta sio hiyo. So when we came in, we straightened what we call National Employment Authority. Tukafukuza hawa employment recruiting agencies, almost 1,000 of them, that were crooks. We have streamlined that space. We have streamlined the registration of recruiting agencies. We have signed bilateral labor agreement with countries where Kenyans go to work. That bilateral labor agreement gives us the knowledge. Now we know any Kenyan who is going to work in UAE, Saudi Arabia, Germany, France, America, wherever, Austria. Now we know what job are they doing, how much money are they being paid, and we have refused in certain instances that if you are not paying this amount, we have a minimum. We are not going to allow a Kenyan to go out of the country to go and earn 5,000. We have a minimum pay that we demand from those countries. If you have a job to work outside, we have created a green channel. If you have a job, a letter of employment in a foreign country, your passport takes 2 to 3 days, you have it. We have created a green channel. As a result, because you have heard me keep talking about export of labor or labor mobility, Africa is going to provide the largest workforce globally by 2050. Because other countries have aging populations. So between 2023 and today, 2 years, 430,000 Kenyans are working abroad. Every month, we send between 7,000 and 8,000 Kenyans every month. We know their names, we know where they're going to work, we know how much money they're going to earn, and we know when they get into trouble how to get them back home. I told you, jobs are as a result of deliberate government policy. They don't just happen. We have to organize policy and direct resources in the right place. Today, those who cannot afford to pay a ticket through National Youth Development Fund, we can now advance them money, which they pay within 6 months, for them to buy tickets, them to pay whatever they want to pay, go work abroad, send us money, grow the country. What has happened? We have increased foreign remittance by $1 billion. It was $4 billion in 2022. This year, it was $4.9 billion US. Ni mnanielewa? Because of millions of Kenyans who are working abroad and they are sending money back home. It is the reason why our reserves at Central Bank are growing. Good people. I was talking about jobs. Jobs because of housing, markets, hostels, jobs through digital jobs, jobs using export of labor. These are deliberate intentions, and we can quantify how many people have gotten jobs. It's no longer a game of guesswork. I have told you this story. Now I'm going to tell you one, kidogo, because I want to persuade you as intellectuals that this country has tremendous potential, and we can change this country from a third world to a first world in our lifetime. That is the conversation I want to have with you. Yeah? And I want to give you a context. Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea were at the same level of development, more or less, like Kenya in 1963. In fact, let me specifically, and I want you to go and read. Take some time. Read about South Korea. South Korea in 1963 was exactly like Kenya in terms of education. They are an agricultural economy like us. The level of education was like ours. Their GDP per capita was actually 78, Kenya's was 80. Were the same in 1963. Today, South Korea, their GDP per capita is 20 times that of Kenya. You mnanielewa? 20 times. Our GDP per capita is $2,200 US. Theirs is close to 40,000. You mnanielewa? Malaysia, Singapore, and I invited the president of Singapore, alikuja kunitembelea hapa 2023. They were almost at the same level with us. Today, Singapore has 95%, almost actually 98% of their citizens are homeowners. Kenya, 7 million people are living in slums. You see the difference? 98% of their citizens are homeowners. Where to 7 million are in slums. Forget about home ownership. Home ownership ndio hii sasa tunapanga na affordable housing. Singapore was a slum like Kibera yetu hii. Watu walikuwa wanapika pombe, wako na nguruwe hapo, wako na kuku mbili. If you see the pictures, if you see the pictures, Singapore, it is exactly Kibera. Today, Singapore is in the first world. Their GDP per capita is 156,000. Yetu ni 2,200. Ni mnanielewa? What is the difference? Leadership only, nothing else. Leadership ndio imeleta hiyo difference. And I'm talking to leaders here today, you. Mnanielewa? I'm talking to you as leaders. We can change this country. China moved from being one of the poorest countries in the world to the second largest economy in 30 years. Why am I telling you this? I am trying to persuade you that it is doable. It is doable. You are the intellectual community of Kenya. If Kenya is going to change, you are the agents of that change. My friends, teachers, this is the reason I called you here today. Because we, as the leaders, we are the ones standing between Kenya, between today and Kenya being a first world country. We are the reason. Whatever it is that we do will determine whether Kenya becomes first world or Kenya continues to be a third world. And if you had any doubt in your mind that this is doable, let me give you some examples of what is possible to be achieved if we make the right decisions. Number one, those countries have learned the practice of savings. China's savings as a percentage of a percentage of GDP is 55. Kenya's percentage of savings as a percentage of GDP is 10. Which means everything we get, we consume. We forget that there is tomorrow and there is the day after. Mnanielewa? It is so bad that we tried in 2016 with my friend Uhuru Kenyatta. We said we must change this because we are embarrassed. Even our neighbors, just imagine, good people, Uganda is half our economy. Sindio? Uganda is half of the economy of Kenya. But they have 3 times, maybe 4 times, a bigger national security fund than Kenya. Why? Because for 40 years, tumekuwa tukicontribute shilingi 200 kwa NSSF, 200 shillings. Mtu ana earn 50,000, 200 shillings. Mtu ana earn 100,000, 200 shillings. Mtu ana earn 200 shillings. Na contribute 200, employer ana contribute 200. Uganda, 20 years ago, they changed the law. Employee 10%, employer 5%. Tanzania, they changed the law. Employee 8%, employer 7%. Ni mnanielewa? Today, Uganda has a bigger social security fund than Kenya. They have a bigger savings kitty than Kenya. Tanzania, which is 60% of our economy, has a bigger social security fund than Kenya. In fact, Tanzania social security fund is building a 23, I don't know, 24 building here in Upper Hill. Mimi niliulizwa niende nianzishe. Ni mnanielewa? Sisi tuko pale kwa 200. That is why when I came into office, unajua tulipitisha sheria because we had said, let every employee contribute 6%. Let the employer contribute 6%. And all that money becomes the money of the employee. We passed the law in 2016. Rafiki yetu Atuoli akatupeleka kotini. Ikakwama kotini. Nikakaa huko kotini, left, right and center. Wakati siku karibu tumkamate, akafanya njama. Unajua ni mtu mwerevu, akakuwa rafiki ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Sasa kutafuta njia kwa ngumu, akakaa hapo. Sasa Mungu ni nani? Si mimi nimekuwa rais? My friend, sikuchelewa 2 weeks nikaita Atwoli, hebu kuja. Tukaketi chini na yeye, habari mzee, namna hiyo mzuri kabisa. Sasa wewe hii kesi iko kotini, unataka tuendelee ku 200 for how long? Do you know the damage we are doing to ourselves? Other countries are making progress. Sisi tunaenda kukopa pesa China because we have refused to save our own money. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Atwoli akawa mzee mungwana, akanisikiza, akaniambia nimekubali. Kesi ikatoka kotini. Kila mtu sasa analipa 6% NSSF. Employers wenu wanalipa 6%. Do you know what? Let me give you the statistics now. From independence to 2013, we had raised 320 billion. From independence to 2023, hii ya juzi, not 2013. And I want you to mark the numbers. From independence to 2023, we had raised 320 billion. In the last 2 years, we have raised another 320 billion. We have doubled our 60 years of savings in just 2 years. By end of next year, actually by 2027, we will have 1 trillion shillings at NSSF. Tell me what is going to happen in 5 years. Tell me what is going to happen in 10 years. Tell me what's going to happen in 20 years. The net effect, we will not be borrowing money from China. We will be borrowing our own money, doing roads, doing water, paying our own people, growing our own economy. What am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you it is possible. You know, kuna mtu amekufa hapa kwa sababu amecontribute 6% to NSSF. Many of you even are not aware I am the one telling you. Mnanielewa? That is how you change a country. Look at what we have done in housing. I'm just giving you, let me give you 3 examples. Why I believe we can move this country from a third world to a first world in our lifetime. What have we done in NSSF? I've just given you the numbers. Look at what we have done in housing. Today, we have issued contracts for markets, for hostels, for housing, worth 600 billion. 600 billion. Not money borrowed from anybody. Our own resources. That whole housing thing you see, not a single shilling has been borrowed from anywhere. If you had asked me to go and look for 600 billion shillings to come and do housing, ningetembea na magoti in all the towns and all the cities, and I would not get it. Taenda Marekani, wende NSSF, wende ile ingine inaitwa ni IMF, wende ingine inaitwa World Bank, you will not get it. But look at what our own resources, from our own money, look at what we can do. Look at what we have done in health. Do you know how much money has been made available in health? From our own contributions in SHA, we're going to have something like 90 billion every year. From our own resources in equipment, we have mobilized, we have designed innovative, creative mechanism of delivery of equipment. We are now taking equipment to hospitals worth 200 billion shillings. Not equipment we have paid for, equipment we have structured, how they are going to deploy their own equipment, we pay them for service, and we make sure that we deliver health. So we are mobilizing close to 300 billion shillings using our own money using our own intellectual capacity to deploy and to provide health to our citizens. Look at what we have done in education. Look at what we have done in roads. Today, we are moving all the road contractors that had stalled back to the roads. Why? Because we used our own creativity. With these members of parliament, we securitized some of the revenues we had. We raised 175 billion. We are on the road raising another 120 billion. We will have 300 billion shillings to do roads in Kenya. Money we have not borrowed from IMF or World Bank, our own resources. Good people, I am telling you, it is possible for us to change this country in our lifetime. And I want to persuade you, and this is the reason why I called you, as intellectuals, I want to persuade you that we agree that we can change, we move Kenya from third world to first world in the next 30 years. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Nyinyi mnanielewa? If Korea, South Korea could do it, we can do it. If Singapore could do it, we can do it. And we have demonstrated, I have shown you that it is possible. Hii makelele tulikuwa tunapigiana hapa na maandamano, you can see the results in housing. You can see the results in education. Why are we hiring 100,000 teachers? Other administrations did not. Why are we deploying universal health coverage when it was difficult the other day? Why are we rolling out housing when it was difficult the other day? Why are we transforming our social security savings, doubling in 2 years when it was not possible the other day? I just want to persuade you, it is not about William Ruto. It is about Kenya and us and changing our country for the sake of this generation and the generations to come. Friends, marafiki, sijui kama mmenielewa. Mmenielewa? Na hii sio siasa. Forget about politics. Politics is small, hiyo ni maneno kidogo. We have a whole country to think about. We have the future of our nation to think about. We can stop, you know, we appeal to everybody, you know? And I can tell you 3 things are important: leadership, education, and we must stop corruption. Kenya will change in our lifetime. And I have every intention to do my bit. I'm asking you to do yours. I'm asking you to help me. Let us work together for us to change Kenya. Sijui kama tumeelewana, my friends. Mimi nawaomba kwa unyenyekevu. You know, and I called you here so that we can begin to discuss, to have a conversation about this Kenya. The possibilities that are available in Kenya. This is the most non-tribal gathering. You know? This is not about a political party. This is not about a political side. This is about Kenya. And shortly, we're going to, I want us to have this conversation as a country. This is a conversation I have had with former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. This is a conversation I have had with my friend Uhuru Kenyatta. Because we must stop partisan things, sectional, you know. It is possible for all of us to do well. Please, good people, this is why I called you. Yeah? I really wanted to have this conversation with you. To tell you, and I wanted to call this conversation, to have this conversation with you now. Because if I had this conversation with you 3 years ago, you would tell me housing is not possible. You would tell me universal coverage is not possible. You tell me reforming NSSF is not possible. Nikasema wacha kwanza nianze na makelele na nini na maandamano, lakini ili nikiwaita, you are witnesses of what is happening. When I tell you we can transform our education sector, we can hire 100,000 teachers, musiniambie mbona wale wengine hawakufanya. Now you know it is possible, don't you? You know it's possible. Ama namna gani? Because it's been done. And that is why I have big difficulties, because we have a disconnect. Because citizens are accustomed to things not working. So that even when they work, they still want to believe they have not worked. You know? Ndio unaona hata saa hizi bado tuko na viongozi wengine wanasema watakuja ku abolish housing. Oh, tutakuja ku abolish universal. Yani ujinga. Yani you have no better plan. You don't know how to move the country forward. Unataka kuturudisha nyuma. You know? So really, Marafiki, I really wanted to talk to you. I told you, I want to talk to you as a leader, and I want to talk to you as citizens and intellectuals of the Republic of Kenya. That is the conversation I want us to have. We are going to move this conversation forward. We will not believe the naysayers. You know, there are many people who are negative. They never see anything. Oh, tumesikia hiyo, oh, hiyo ni uongo, oh, hiyo nini, you know, those things. But you see, we can change this country. And I have great faith that we can do it together. Tunaelewana? As the lawyers say, I rest my case. Nimemaliza. Sawa sawa ndugu zangu. Asanteni sana, tuketi. Now, let me come to si nilikuwa na lesson plan. Acha nikuje sasa niwaambie in brief what we have been able to do in the education sector. I have explained in my other presentation. I just want to take you through quickly. I've explained to you that transforming education was not a political issue. Transforming education was deliberate, because through education, whether you look at Korea, whether you look at Singapore, whether you look at Malaysia, intellectuals, the capacity for people to understand things, education was at the center of their own transformation. And that is why I took matters education seriously, because I knew that it is going to be part of the levers that we are going to use if we were to move Kenya to the first world. That is why the budget of education was 540 in 2022. As I told you, now we are at 702 billion. We've hired teachers the way you know. We built classrooms, as I have told you. We have done a funding model changed the funding model to put more resources in our universities. We have started the Open University of Kenya. We have increased the number of tutors in our TVET from about 3,600. We have moved it to now from 6,900, sorry, to now 10,000. And we are hiring another 3,000 or 4,000 in the coming budget. We have moved the number of private sector companies that are now working with our TVETs. We've moved them. We used to have 65. Now we have 2,800 different companies providing training, internship for our students in TVET. It is our intention by 2027 to move the number of students in our technical, vocational, and training institutes from 340 in 2022. We are now at 720. We will have 2 million by 2027 because technical education, the STEM subjects, are what are going to drive our industrialization. The reason why we have 6 new special economic zones is because industrialization is going to be the engine that is going to drive our economy, even as we move from an agro-based economy, we must industrialize. And that is why Kenya is championing the Africa Green Industrialization Initiative, which I am driving at the AU, and we are going to take it to the United General Assembly, because that is the way we want to move the country. In matters education, these are among the things that I agreed and I purposed, and we have provided the resources to transform that sector. Let me see whether I have forgotten anything. I think I have captured most of the things, you know? I think I've captured most of the things. The one thing that I just wanted to give you the beacons of what we are doing in matters education. From making sure that we have adequate resources, we've increased the budget significantly. No other administration has increased the budget that much. We've brought in more teachers, built more classrooms, started, operationalized the Open University of Kenya, which I have told you by December 2026, we will have 100,000 students learning. It will be the biggest university in Kenya by 2026 in just 3 years, because education is important. Knowledge acquisition is important. That is how other countries have driven their own transformation. That is how Singapore left us behind. Malaysia left us behind because they invested in education. And that is why I moved to the third section of this morning's lesson plan. I said that third section, there are things we have done in education. They are significant. You have participated in those things. But I know you have ideas on how we can make it better. Sindio? You have ideas on how we can make it better. I have gone through it. I have seen that there are some brilliant ideas that you have brought through the MOU the memorandum, that was sent to me by the associations and the unions. I want now somebody to make a presentation of what you think we can do better to deliver on this very central subject of education. You know, I think one or two of the colleagues here will do that presentation to us. And then from there, I will respond to some of the issues that you have raised. Some of them we can do now. Some of them we can plan to do in the medium term. And I'm sure we will agree on how education is going to play a central role in moving this country to where I want us, all of us, to move the nation to. And then finally, if there will be any questions for me, I will be more than willing to respond or clarify on some issues. And then we will do the final things, alafu tutamaliza. So, who is going to make the presentation of the items that the memorandum, who will do it? You will call them. Yeah, so one or two people can make that presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those insightful speech. Your Excellency, allow me to call the leaders of the unions, Your Excellency, and as colleagues of you, the Secretary General of Kenya National Union of Teachers. Your Excellency, sir, here before you are 3,300 Kenya National Union of Teachers leaders from around the country. Allow me, Your Excellency, before I give you to introduce, we have been joined by the Minister for Lands, Housing, and Urban Development and Public Works, Honorable Alice Wahome. We have also been joined by the PS Housing, PS Charles Hinga. We have also been joined by the Chairman, Teacher Service Commission, Dr. Jamlek Muturi, and also the Acting CEO, Evelyn Mitei. Asante sana. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you. Rais anasema muimbe wimbo moja anarudi. Haya. DJ yuko wapi? Tusimame tuweke tuembe. Umetuleta sote pamoja kwa upendo, tunakupenda sana. Tunakupenda sana. Asante sana. Kiongozi mwema, umetujenga, umetupenda. Umetupenda. Walimu tunasema asante sana. Umetushikilia asante sana. Umetupenda sana. Asante sana. Umetupigania asante sana. Asante, asante, asante. Asante sana. Walimu tunasema asante sana. Umetushikilia asante sana. Umetupenda sana asante sana. Umetupigania asante sana. Asante, 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 asante sana. Rais wetu kiongozi mama, tunakupenda sana. Tunakupenda sana. Umetupa ajira na unaukabila, tunakupenda sana. Tunakupenda sana. Rais wetu ubagui, uchagui, unatujali. Rais wetu ubagui, uchagui, unatujali. Walimu tunasema asante sana. Umetushikilia asante sana. Umetupenda sana asante sana. Umetupigania asante sana. Asante, 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 asante sana. Walimu tunasema asante sana. Umetushikilia asante sana.
Eje Nensoko TV Uboroso Bumugusi.
Kwanza kabisa ngoja babu na buja manesu nuko nyegena koruncha kati kotera na reke buna kamononda mateke ndoko korada kinyu kugena kuno kukambe komo ke basa bakati monte matini mache mutu kuni na mangi kirondi kosi makuta mutu na koruncha reko mutu meke bikunde mutu ndiko sinyu korada mutu ni tureka mutu. Yo, jeko kuna come to flan na onde me ya Ensoko TV Uboroso Bumugusi. Abangi na ruteke iriri ato.
Ine nuganete betri uratumia segari yao ebetri ugucacirimo ugakweba ebetri ulegene cinga kichonsi ebenga kiyeliberera gusenga kiyobokendu tawe candika Autobat Kenya Limited no tulegigiga asengenchao nigo tokorosia na koni chipetri uratumia cinga kichonsi chibetri uratumie asegari enke ebasi no nyaneli kurukuru.
Kupitia pale kwa gari yako tutahakikisha tumeweka na tumekupimia charging system ya gari na pia tumekupimia battery na kila kitu itakuwa iko sawa.
Alright. Sasa na ikileta shida kabla hii warranty ishe itakuwa namna gani?
Ikikusumbua kabla ya warranty utakuja, alafu tukishaiangalia tutakupatia battery ya kushikilia tukiendelea kuangalia yako.
Talia yoka na battery yechinguru.
Battery ya Autobat ni battery ambayo ni spill proof. kumaanisha hiyo betri haimwagi acid ile ambayo iko ndani. Hiyo betri imetengenezwa na calcium. Kama vile tunajua calcium hainanga water loss, kumaanisha sasa hiyo betri hakuna wakati ambayo inakauka hiyo acid.
Asamange twakirisimi namba 0739697855.
Kwa wale watu wa kujamstatiwa, wachana na betri kama hizi. Tumia Autobat. Betri ni Autobat.
Enyagitani rubutamero chinga kichoborere. Korende tarikire nyagitari erabo butamero asogoko bokali ubya bwekerengo kisheguro utatiga Akasims Hospital. Nigo tubwata abanyagitari bomanyi boisaine. Bakurwali amarwire ao asokolenga nechi machine ichekerero. Obokore bwito nubwichinsemero ngebere nainye. Nkubara tole nkwakatura x-ray nkugweni tura maiso amaino amauga n'umugongo ngokonya turabangena kuibura na kuroberi uruiboro ngokora tole ultrasound ntubwate ICU HDU NICU ntubwate pediatric services ntubwate gynecologist ngokora tole physiotherapy na pharmacy ito nigichire amariogo ngutumia tolichi insurance au bunasha AON Britam naboigo Trident nigo tugotoka nsemo ya magina toligirenetie negite seni kyabanyanyimbo kya magina asamange akesimi 0707289342 gose tome email kasimshospital@gmail.com.
Urwase abanyagitari baito bare qualified karibuni.
Kasims Hospital, we treat, God heals.
Mwanchumurigaria Bwensoko TV bagakwana bagateba chisemi na lichikori bya orobebe egati ya bari babwate na bari batabwati ase bisaku au akene rure nche Clinton ndigi gwetera segeta seni kiago Bwensoko TV kochiko komanya onsi eya maseyemo ali aenekiwe ali arobere gochia konekiwa ase sector yechisemi kurigase obugatagati bo mocho Nairobi abego chi county chonsi emerongene na isano nebere ase ense ya Kenya elioko ligia komanya na ria ya agendrete ase sector yechisemi.
Eye Nensoko TV Oboroso Bumugusi.
To everything I'll imitate you from now, Your Excellency. This is a historic event, and I want to thank CS Education and PS for organizing this event. And I want to dub this event, Your Excellency, Walimu na Rais. More to that, because it is a colorful, enjoyable experience, I would wish that after every 2 years, Your Excellency, we come back here for Walimu na Rais. Solidarity. 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 This sector needs peace more than ever. And you'll agree with me, in all our schools, performing schools have peace. This country needs peace for education to cherish. I want to thank you, Your Excellency. You brought on board every other person in this country to work with. And that is why, as a Secretary General on behalf of teachers, members of Kenya National Union of Teachers, I want to say, Kumi bila break. Kumi bila break. Broad-based government is the way to go. Your Excellency, you've mentioned everything in this sector. For us, we only have to appreciate collective bargaining agreements. Your Excellency, we were worried as leaders of trade unions at the beginning of this year, because we all know it, that SRC had pronounced a freeze to any monetary CBA. Teachers Service Commission, through your advice, Your Excellency, sat with us, and on the 18th of July, we signed a CBA. Simuliona CBA walimu? Now, thank you. But what you would like to ask on the CBA? Globally, and these are recommendations from the International Labour Organization, our CBAs are for cycles. We want to request you, Your Excellency, to reduce the 4 years to 2 years of CBA. Based on inflation, CBA to be reduced to 2 terms. 2 years. 2 years for CBA and 2 terms for His Excellency, the President. Your Excellency, I want to say here and now, we are all CBC compliant. Matters of employment of teachers. Mr. President, you have exceeded expectations. We know too well, and the President did say here, that after every year, only 5,000. As we speak now, and I want to repeat what he said, 76,000 teachers employed, permanent and pensionable. As we proceed, another 24,000. That's 100,000. Before 2027, another 20,000. 120,000. Solidarity. 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 As we appreciate you, Mr. President, on employment, this is what we want to ask you. We have teachers who are 45 years and above. These teachers are not employed. You know, when you're 45 years, you only have 15 years. Mr. President, some of our teachers will attain the retirement age even before working for this country. I want to request you humbly, and Teacher Service Commission is here. These teachers who actually trained 15 years back down the line, 20 years down the line, over 45 years, your executive powers, known to all of us, as we pronounce 2-term, kumi bila break, Mr. President, employ these teachers. That is employment, that is entry into this profession. There's also exit as you work. Teachers who retire, some of them even die before they receive their benefits. How I wish, Mr. President, that you stamp your authority so that teachers who retire get their retirement benefits as soon as possible. We want them to vote for you. We want these teachers to vote for you. You know, in biology, because you're a very good teacher, Mr. President, food is medicine. I want to tell all of us here that most of our retirees, as they go home, food is never their medicine, but medicine becomes their food. They take medicine like every 1 hour. we want these teachers to be paid their benefits early enough so that they stay strong to vote for you, Mr. President. I'm sure you are able to unlock the overstay that is there that don't allow teachers to get their pensions in very good time. Education reforms. Nani kama wewe rais? Nani kama wewe? Nani kama wewe? Wajua Kiswahili si mdomo changu. I got it from His Excellency. Wakenya ni watu wa kujituma. I want to confirm here, Your Excellency. Walimu hapa Kenya ni watu wa kujituma zaidi. Because looking at the work that we do, and I'm happy, your deputy, His Excellency, was a teacher like us. Mwalimu. And you know too well. Fire must fire. Noma must noma. Now, there's no single government that can pay a teacher a salary commensurate to the work that a teacher does. And so, tunajituma zaidi. Kazi ya elimu tunapenda. Walimu Kenya hii ni watu wa kujituma zaidi. I want to say here and now that on education reforms, before you came in, Mr. President, the sector of education was getting to rot. The Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms has brought us far and wide. Domiciling grade 7, 8, and 9 to primary schools did two things, Mr. President. One, access to education. Two, poor parents could afford to have their children in school. Imagine the situation where grade 7 went to a secondary school, grade 8 to a secondary school, and grade 9 to a secondary school. I want to assure you, Mr. President, as the parents and as these teachers, education has become affordable. 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 Because of the recommendations of the Presidential Working Party on education reforms. And more so by domiciling grade 7, 8, and 9 in primary schools. Now here comes the sessional paper number 1. This is my ask. This is my ask, Mr. President. The sessional paper number 1, which of course was number 10, 2024, now number 1, 2025. Where has this sessional paper disappeared to? Because we want the president to succeed. We want the president to succeed. We want the president to succeed. Where is the sessional paper? Number 1 of 2025. And our head teachers have worked a lot. Head teachers, congratulations. You've made His Excellency proud. Because grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, now transiting to grade 10. Hongera, head teachers. And as soon as I appreciate you, Mr. President, these teachers, head teachers, were head teachers of primary schools. They are now heads of comprehensive schools. And you know, in the trade union, additional work calls for additional remuneration. These heads are even capped in D1, and they'll never go beyond D1. My ask on behalf of these heads, just a pronouncement, Mr. President. Just a pronouncement. Just a pronouncement. Just a pronouncement. A pronouncement that these are no longer heads of institutions because they man junior secondary, junior schools. It will not be bad, Mr. President, if these heads are declared principals of those institutions. Because I'll tell you, and Teacher Service Commission has data. Most of our heads are graduates of master's and doctorate degrees. That is where we are. Mr. President, delocalization was repealed courtesy of your leadership. Families suffered. Families suffered. There was no peace in most of the families where there was delocalization. And I want to say here without blinking that even conjugal rights became conjugal privileges in most families. Solidarity! 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 Mr. President, this policy has to go, and go once and for all. Why I say so, Mr. President, delocalization has come in again through what we call promotions. A teacher in Nairobi is promoted, only 4 months retirement, and posted to Kitui. Posted to Kitui. Posted to Tana River. Yes, it is a policy. How I wish the way you came up, Mr. President, to repeal delocalization. In the same way, Mr. President, just a word, repeal CPG. Career Progression Guidelines. Because with CPG, Teacher Service Commission must post you where we have a vacancy. Are we there? It is not a must that when I proceed to C4, I must be declared a deputy head teacher. It is not a must that when I proceed to C5, I must be declared a head teacher. CPG, for the sake of these teachers and their security, and to get rid of delocalization finally, Mr. President, this is a policy that has to go. CPG has to go. CPG has to go. CPG has to go. CPG has to go. Finally, my dear President, hello? Order. 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 Mr. President, we have our colleagues in hard-to-staff areas. When a teacher volunteers to work in a hard-to-staff area, I think issues of policy should not be kept to stop the teacher from getting promotions. And even be confirmed substantively to be a principal, a head teacher, or even a deputy head teacher where one works under hardship. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Mr. President, the ayes have it. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Collins Oyu, Your Excellency, the Secretary General of Kenya National Union of Teachers. Your Excellency, sir, allow me now to invite on stage the Secretary General of KUPPET, Akelo Missouri. Thank you very much. I can see the chairman, Mheshimiwa Omboko Milemba Scam. Karibu sana, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you very much, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Every protocol observed. Solidarity. Teachers' power. Mine is very brief. To introduce the battalion that I led here from KUPPET. May we have the national executive officials rising up and wave to the President. KUPPET power. Thank you. May I have the National Governing Council rise wherever you are. Wave to the President. Teachers' power. Finally, Your Excellency the President, majority of the teachers that you talked about whom you have already employed are also in the house. Those are called the JSS. Could we have the modules rise up? Teachers' power. Without much ado, Your Excellency, may I bring the spokesman, the Pope of KUPPET, to speak on behalf of the members. Akelo Missouri, may you come and present the issues that we have to.
Thank you so much, Brother Chairman. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, the Cabinet Secretary is present, the PSS is present, members of the Education Committee of Parliament, and the union leadership who are here, KEPSHA, KESHA, and the teachers of this country. Power! Power! You do realize, Your Excellency, that we have given you a memorandum. However, you have persuaded us to look at your viewpoints. And we are also want to persuade you to look at our viewpoints on certain issues. Solidarity. The teachers of this country are very happy and appreciate you for the effort that you have had to administer this nation. And more recently, Your President, Your Excellency, you are zero tolerance on corruption. Your Excellency, I must say that some of the most progressive programs that you have initiated since your administration came to office is housing. Housing. For some of us who have traveled far and wide, do appreciate one fact, that if you want to control populations in terms of security, if you want to provide roads, if you want to provide water, if you want to provide electricity, you start with housing, because it will determine how people live. It will also restore their dignity. Initially, when we came to this place, not in this magnitude, we did not give you sufficient time to explain to us. But you did ask us to give you time, but you have proved it. I must say, we appreciate this effort, and especially in housing. And go further to appreciate that you have invited the Cabinet Secretary Housing and the PS Housing to append the 20% that you have given us as a token of appreciation of teachers of this country. Your Excellency, you asked us and you persuaded us to look at your viewpoint. I must repeat this. I would also wish to ask you to look at our viewpoint. Some of the policy frameworks that have come in the education subsector require serious interrogation. Serious interrogation, Your Excellency. And one such, and you can hear some appreciation from the background. One such is that as much as we have more access, more affordability of learners in our schools, something that was being ignored and must be interrogated further is the domiciling of junior school in our primary schools. I must say this because one element Thank you. 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 This is the beauty of democracy. The beauty of democracy is everyone has got his say or a say.
Aye, we have had you. Aye, members. Aye. His Excellency, order. His Excellency has had you. His Excellency has had you. Let's be quiet, please. Aye, let's be quiet, please. Let's be quiet. Let's be quiet. Aye, order. Aye, another issue. So His Excellency the President has had you. Aye, order. Let's be quiet.
Thank you. Secondly, Your Excellency, something which has really disturbed us is allocation to a Teacher Service Commission for promotions. We really appreciate the promotions which you have granted us over the years, and we appreciate the over 56,000 teachers who are promoted. However, Your Excellency, one thing which we still ask for is that promoting 2,000 with the allocation of 1 billion, 2 billion to the Teacher Service Commission does not reflect the magnitude of the stagnation that